Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, Hello everyone. So we are want to presentation the lower extremity muscular injury and recovery. So in my group is the Fauzia Putri Hevina, Rafiq Khairiasar, Siti Akifa Namira, and Siti Fadila.
So next, we move to the background. Indirect structural muscle injuries are among the most common injury in sport medicine, especially in the lower extremities. This injury usually occur during high-intensity activities such as sprinting, jumping, and sudden directional change. Hamstring, quadriceps, and calf muscle are the most frequently injured muscle groups because they are highly involved in force production and movement control. Proper rehabilitation and therapeutic exercise are essential to restore muscle function and reduce the risk of re-injury. So, the indirect structural muscle injury is a muscle damage caused by excessive stretching or strong muscle contraction without direct physical contact. The characteristic is muscle fiber damage, pain and swelling, reduced muscle strength, and limited functional movement. These injuries are commonly classified into grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 depending on severity. So, next is lower extremity muscle anatomy. The common injured lower extremity muscle, there are hamstring. Located in the posterior thigh, hamstring muscle play an important role in daily activity and sport movement. This muscle works eccentrically and concentrically to control hip and knee motion during standing, walking, running, and kicking. Because the hamstring experience high eccentric loading, especially during sprinting and fast movement, they are highly prone to injury. Function of hamstring is to control hip and knee movement, important for standing and walking, and assist sprinting, jumping, and kicking. Next muscle is quadriceps. The quadriceps femoris is the most voluminous muscles of the human body. The quadriceps femoris is a hip flexor and knee extensor. It consists of four individual muscles, three vastus muscles, and the rectus femoris. They form the main bulk of the thigh and collectively are one of the most powerful muscles in the body. It is located in the anterior compartment of the thigh. The four subcomponents being rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedius. The last muscles is calf muscles or gastrocnemius and soleus. The gastrocnemius is a superficial muscle in the posterior lower leg that works with the soleus to form the triceps surae. It functions in ankle plantar flexion and assists knee flexion, helping with walking, posture, and movement. And soleus, located in superficial posterior compartment of the leg. Soleus is a powerful lower limb muscle which is situated deep to the gastrocnemius muscle. Together with gastrocnemius and plantaris, it forms the calf muscle or triceps surae. It runs from back of the knee to the ankle and is multi-pennate.
Okay, I will to explain about the mechanism of injury. Muscle injury happen when the force applied to a muscle is greater than what the muscle can handle. Common causes include muscle overload, excessive force during activity and adequate warm-up, and muscle fatigue and previous injury. Muscle injury can also occur due to overuse, which involves repetitive movement without enough recovery or excessive stretching, where the muscle is stretched beyond its normal limit. Next slide. Okay, risk factors for muscle injury are divided into intrinsic and extrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor include muscle weakness, poor flexibility, process injury, and muscle imbalance. And factor include an extrinsic factor include overtraining, inadequate warm-up, poor technique, and insufficiency recovery. This is factor increase the risk of muscle injury. Okay, muscle injury are classified into three grades. Grade 1 is a mild injury with no significant tissue, tearing or loss of function. Grade 2 it involves tissue damage with reduced muscle strength and partial loss of function. And grade 3 is a complete muscle tendinosis tear that result in complete loss of function. Okay, next slide. Okay, the common symptoms of muscle injury include pain during movement, swelling, bruising, muscle weakness, limited range of motion, and reduced functional performance. The severity of these symptoms depends on the severity of the injury.
Okay, for the next is rehabilitation and exercise. Core objective of therapeutic exercise is to restore tissue mechanical function, improve range of motion, and minimize the formation of rigid dysfunctional scar tissue. First, there is RISE method for the traditional one, and then the police method for the modern one. RISE is rest, ice, compression, elevation. Meanwhile, POLICE is protection, optimal loading, ice, compression, elevation. And for orthotic and prosthetic management, patient can use braces, splint, and crutches during acute phase to provide protection. Next. After the acute phase is passed, the patient can do stretching to restore the joint range of motion and prevent permanent stiffness or contracture. This principle of stretching is the first thing the patient can do is introduce gradually and perform statically and slowly, and also should never provoke severe pain. And for the example, the patient can do hip extensor stretch. And for the orthotic and prosthetic management, the patient can implementing a neck splint or an AFO set at a specific joint angle to deliver prolonged low load passive stretching while the patient rests or sleep. Next. And the third is strengthening. Muscle strength recovery must follow a systematic biological progression of muscle contraction. There are three types of muscle contraction. First one is isometric, or when the muscles is in static condition. For example, when someone pressing the back of the knee down into the bed. And the second is concentric, or when someone doing dynamic activity and the muscle it become shortened. For example, is when someone do the lifting phase of a bicep curl. And the last is eccentric, when someone doing dynamic activity and the muscles is lengthened. And for the last is eccentric exercise, the golden standard. Why is it critical? Because eccentric contraction generate the highest tensile force on the tissue, making them highly effective at stimulating the remodeling of new collagen fibers so they realign neatly and parallel to the line of stress. For example, we can do knee flexor knee flexor stretch. And next, for the orthotic and prosthetic management, we can providing a customized foot orthosis or heel lift inside the shoe to temporarily modify joint biomechanics, ensuring that the eccentric load placed on the tendon or muscle during daily ambulation remains within safe therapeutic limits. Okay, next.
Next is return to sport or RTS, criteria-based approach for a safe return. The first is pain-free during daily activities and sport-specific movement, full range of motion, compare the injury lower limb, and muscle strength 90 or until 95% of the opposite side, functional performance, ability to perform sprinting, jumping, and cutting. Medical and rehabilitation, team clearance, final approval from physical and rehabilitation team. And importance of RTS assessment, reduce the risk of the re-injury, ensure optimal performance upon return, promotes long-term athlete health and safety. Next is strategies to prevent lower limb muscle injuries. First is regular warm-up and dynamic stretching, progressive strength and conditioning program, neuromuscular and balance training, proper recovery and load management, adequate hydration, nutrition, and sleep. And the last is early management of muscle fatigue and minor injury. High risk factor to monitor: previous muscle injury, poor flexibility, muscle weakness or imbalance, sudden increase in training intensity, inadequate recovery time. Next, conclusion key takeaways. Indirect structural muscle injury commonly affect the hamstring, quadricep, the adductors, and calf muscle. Accurate diagnosis and classification are essential for appropriate treatment planning. Rehabilitation should focus on restoring strength, flexibility, and functional performance. A criteria-based return to sport approach help minimize resurgence, and prevention programs play a critical role in reducing injury, incident, and improving athletic performance. Effective prevention, evidence-based rehabilitation, and safe return to sport decisions are essential for minimizing re-injury and maximizing athletic performance. In conclusion, indirect structural muscle injury are common in athletes and can significantly affect performance. Proper diagnosis, rehabilitation, and criteria-based return to sport process are essential to reduce and resurgence.
Okay, these are the reference that we use for the article that we search, and that's all from our group. Thank you for your attention, and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.